The galaxy had always looked down on Earth. Alien races from distant systems laughed at the small planet, calling it weak, backward, and unimportant. No one thought Earth could ever make something worth their attention. But the Galactic Council demanded a demonstration, and Earth prepared its prototype ship for the first time. As the Earth ship hovered in the council chamber, glittering with its new design, whispers spread through the crowd. Aliens pointed at its size and laughed, shaking their massive heads. "Is this a joke?" one of the council members hissed. Even the smallest creature in the room could feel the mockery. The Emperor of the Galaxy, a towering figure with glowing eyes, stood in the center, smirking. He laughed the loudest of all, calling the Earth prototype weak and useless. "No wonder this planet is a joke," he said. "We should give them a gift, one that matches their level of failure." The aliens murmured in excitement, waiting to see what the Emperor would do. And then he announced it, with a cruel smile. He would send his daughter to Earth. But she was not a gift of honor, she was a joke. Obese, awkward, and unwanted, she had been ignored by everyone in the Empire. No one had ever taken her seriously. She was the perfect way to humiliate Earth, the Emperor thought. And so, she was sent, strapped into a starship, her face a mixture of fear and sadness. She did not know what awaited her, and she had no idea how her life was about to change. The journey to Earth was long and silent. She looked out at the stars, feeling small and ashamed. She had always been laughed at, always ignored. And now, she would be the tool for another planet's humiliation. Her mind filled with doubts, wondering if she could ever belong anywhere. When her ship entered Earth's atmosphere, everything felt different. The humans did not rush to mock her. There were no loud jeers, no sneers, no insults. Instead, she landed in a quiet field, with only a few humans watching. One of them, a human mechanic, walked toward her. He looked at her with curiosity, not disgust. He did not see her weight, her awkwardness, or her flaws. He saw something different: potential, intelligence, and strength. For the first time in her life, she felt a spark of hope. Her heart skipped a beat, confused by the unexpected kindness. The mechanic spoke simply, his voice calm and steady. "Welcome to Earth," he said. It was not mocking, it was not sarcastic. It was real, honest, and human. Other humans whispered behind him, but he ignored them. He helped her out of the ship, guided her carefully. She looked around, unsure of what to expect next. The galaxy had sent her as a joke. And yet, on this small blue planet, she was treated like a person. As the sun set behind the distant hills, the alien daughter watched the humans. She did not know if she would belong. She did not know if she would survive. But she knew one thing. This human mechanic had seen her differently. And for the first time, she felt a tiny flicker of hope. Somewhere deep inside, she wondered if this planet, mocked by the galaxy, might be the only place where she could truly matter. And as the stars began to glow in the night sky, she thought, maybe this is where her story begins. The alien daughter felt nervous as she stepped onto the soft earth soil. The humans around her whispered, stared, and pointed. Many hid their surprise behind polite smiles. She had expected laughter, mockery, and insults. But none of it came. The human mechanic, the one who had greeted her, walked closer. He was tall and strong, with hands rough from years of work. His eyes looked at her, not with disgust, but with calm curiosity. "You must be tired," he said softly. "Come, I will show you where you can rest." His voice was kind, simple, and honest. She blinked, unsure if she had heard correctly. No one in her life had ever spoken to her this way. He led her to a small workshop filled with machines, tools, and parts. The room smelled of oil and metal, warm and welcoming. She noticed the humans working quietly, focused on their tasks. None of them mocked her or laughed. She felt a strange feeling she could not name. Something like hope, or trust, or maybe curiosity. The mechanic showed her a place to sit. He handed her a cloth and a small cup of water. "Take your time," he said. "You are safe here." She studied his face, searching for a trap. There was none. His smile was gentle, without sarcasm. For the first time, she felt that someone saw her, not as a joke, but as a person. Days passed quickly, and she learned the rhythm of the workshop. The mechanic showed her broken machines, old engines, and heavy tools. She learned how to fix them, adjust them, and even improve them. Her large frame, which the Emperor had mocked, helped her handle heavy parts with ease. Every time she completed a task, the mechanic nodded with approval. "You are very good at this," he said simply. She smiled quietly, proud for the first time in her life. Other humans began to notice her skills, and some even asked for her help. Her confidence grew slowly, quietly, like a small fire in the night. But the galaxy had sent her as a joke, and her mind sometimes remembered that. She feared being laughed at again, feared that her place here was temporary. Yet, each time she looked at the mechanic, she felt courage. He never laughed at her, never judged her. He only saw what she could do, not what others said about her. One evening, as the workshop lights glowed softly, the mechanic spoke again. "You do not need to prove yourself to anyone," he said. "Not to me, not to your Emperor, not to the galaxy." His words sank deep into her heart. She realized that humans valued different things than the galaxy. They valued effort, skill, and heart. Not size, appearance, or what others thought. She looked around the small workshop, the tools, the machines, the humans working together. For the first time, she felt that maybe she belonged somewhere. Not as a joke, not as a mockery, but as herself, useful and capable. Her heart lifted slightly, like a bird finding its first flight. And the mechanic smiled at her, quietly, patiently. "Tomorrow, we will fix the old engine together," he said. She nodded, feeling a spark of excitement she had never felt before. The galaxy had sent her as a joke. But on this small, quiet planet, she began to see a different world. A world where she could matter. A world where humans, unlike the galaxy, did not laugh at weakness. They celebrated it. They turned flaws into strength. And she would learn, slowly, how to be strong too. The night sky shone with stars, and she looked up, thinking of her father, the Emperor. He had laughed at her, sent her away, mocked her. But here on Earth, she was not mocked. She was valued, respected, and seen. For the first time, she felt hope. And she wondered quietly, could Earth, laughed at by the galaxy, be the place she was meant to call home? The alien daughter had begun to feel at home in the small workshop. Every day she learned more about machines, engines, and tools. The humans around her worked quietly, carefully, and patiently. No one laughed at her size, her awkwardness, or her differences. Instead, they welcomed her, guided her, and respected her efforts. For the first time, she felt a sense of purpose, a place where she could belong. The human mechanic watched her carefully as she lifted heavy parts and adjusted broken engines. "You are stronger than you think," he said. "Your size is not a weakness, it is an advantage." She looked at him, surprised. Everywhere else in the galaxy, she had been mocked. Everywhere else, her body had been called a flaw. Here, humans saw something different, something valuable. It was a strange, new feeling, and she liked it. She spent hours learning, fixing, and testing machines. Her large hands moved with surprising precision. Her mind worked faster than anyone expected. Even the oldest engines, the ones that had not worked for decades, began to hum under her touch. Other humans came to see her work, whispering in awe. "She fixed what we could not," they said quietly. She smiled faintly, feeling pride for the first time in her life. Her father, the Emperor, had called her useless. But here, she was needed. Here, she was respected. Here, she mattered. The mechanic introduced her to new systems, teaching her slowly, step by step. "You see," he said one evening, "humans do not judge by appearances. We judge by effort, skill, and heart. A person who works hard and cares is valuable, no matter what the galaxy says." She listened carefully, feeling the truth in his words. It was so different from the galaxy, where power and beauty were everything. Here, humans valued what others ignored. Here, flaws became strengths, weaknesses became tools. And she realized slowly that her life had changed forever. One day, the mechanic asked her to help repair an ancient engine. It was heavy, old, and broken, but he believed she could do it. Together, they worked, side by side, sweating and struggling. Her strength made the impossible task possible. Her intelligence helped them find the smallest faults. And when the engine roared to life, humans around them cheered quietly. She laughed, a sound she had almost forgotten. The mechanic nodded, his eyes warm and proud. "You see," he said, "this is what humans value." She looked around at the humans, at their smiles, their respect, their trust. And she understood. Her confidence grew each day, quietly, steadily, like a river carving a path through stone. She began to see herself differently. Not as a joke, not as an unwanted child, but as someone who had purpose, skill, and value. She felt pride, hope, and even joy, feelings she had never known under her father's shadow. And yet, deep in her mind, she thought of the galaxy, her father, and the Emperor's cruel laughter. Would they ever see her this way? Would they understand that humans could see value where others saw flaws? She did not know. But she knew one thing. On Earth, she had found people who saw her, who believed in her. And slowly, she began to believe in herself. She had begun her journey from a joke, a tool for humiliation, to someone who mattered, someone strong, someone capable. The galaxy had laughed at her, but humans had shown her what truly mattered. And for the first time, she felt she had a place. A home where she could grow, learn, and be seen. As the sun set behind the workshop, the alien daughter looked at the mechanic. He smiled quietly, silently, and she realized that humans did not need grandeur or power to value someone. They only needed heart, skill, and care. And she had all of them. Her journey was only beginning. And Earth, laughed at by the galaxy, had quietly become her world. The galaxy had been watching Earth quietly, but the Emperor was not happy. He had sent his daughter as a joke, expecting laughter, embarrassment, and humiliation for the humans. But instead, reports came back that shocked him. The humans had not laughed. They had not mocked her. They had valued her, respected her, and even learned from her. The Emperor's daughter, the one he had called useless, was now seen as capable and strong. His mind could not accept it. He summoned his daughter back to the Empire. Her arrival on Earth had been unexpected, her success even more so. He had imagined her embarrassed, hiding, and humiliated. Instead, she was proud, confident, and skilled. His spies had watched her lift heavy engines, repair ancient machines, and earn the respect of humans. The Emperor felt something strange, something he had not felt in decades. Regret, and a flicker of fear. The daughter heard the news but did not panic. She had learned to trust humans, and they had given her courage. The mechanic had told her many times, "Your value is not what the galaxy says, it is what you do, what you give, and what you can achieve." She smiled quietly, remembering the long hours in the workshop, the small victories, the machines brought back to life. She had found her strength, and she had learned that the galaxy's opinion did not define her. The Emperor arrived on Earth in a massive ship, his presence loud and commanding. Humans watched silently, unsure of his intentions. The daughter stepped forward, tall and confident. She did not cower, she did not tremble. "You sent me as a joke," she said softly, but firmly. "And look at what you have done." The Emperor's face darkened. He had expected weakness, shame, and embarrassment. Instead, he saw respect, strength, and independence. The human mechanic stood quietly beside her, watching, supporting, but not interfering. It was clear that the humans had changed her, had taught her what it meant to matter. The Emperor's advisors whispered nervously, unsure of what to do. The daughter spoke calmly, "I am not a joke, I am not a failure. I have learned what you never taught me. Humans value heart, skill, and effort more than anything else in the galaxy. They see potential where others see flaws." The Emperor's pride faltered. He realized he had underestimated both humans and his own daughter. All his laughter, all his mockery, had failed to diminish her. Instead, it had only shown her the value of Earth, the value of people who care, and the value of herself. The mechanic nodded silently, proud but humble. He knew she had become someone who could stand on her own. No emperor, no galaxy, could take that away from her. The emperor looked at his daughter, searching for a trace of the shy, awkward girl he had sent away. He found none. She was confident, strong, and capable. His regret grew heavier. He had mocked, humiliated, and ignored her for years. But now, the galaxy could see that humans had given her what he never could. And the daughter, standing beside the human mechanic, realized that she had a choice. She could return to the Empire, live in luxury and power, but under mockery and expectation. Or she could stay on Earth, among humans who respected her, valued her, and had taught her the true meaning of strength. She looked at the mechanic, and he smiled quietly, without words. It was clear that the choice was hers. And for the first time in her life, she felt free. The Emperor's regret was complete, but her journey was just beginning. The galaxy had laughed at Earth. The galaxy had laughed at her. But now, Earth had quietly shown the Emperor the truth. Humans do not judge by size, beauty, or expectation. They see heart, effort, and potential. And the daughter, once a tool for humiliation, had found her place in the world. A place where she was respected, valued, and strong. The alien daughter looked around the small workshop. She felt the quiet hum of engines, the smell of oil, and the warmth of humans working together. For the first time, she understood what it meant to belong. The galaxy had sent her as a joke. But Earth had given her respect, purpose, and freedom. She smiled quietly, feeling a strength she had never known. The human mechanic stood beside her, calm and patient as always. "You have grown so much," he said. "Not just in skill, but in heart." She nodded, realizing he had been guiding her not only to fix machines, but to discover her own worth. For the first time, she felt proud of herself. Proud of her size, her mind, and her strength. She had become someone who mattered. Not a joke, not a tool, but a person, capable and respected. The Emperor watched silently from his massive ship. He had expected her to be embarrassed, weak, and foolish. Instead, he saw confidence, competence, and respect. Humans had quietly taught her what the galaxy never could. They had shown her value in a way the Emperor never understood. He felt regret, but also awe. The galaxy had laughed at Earth. But Earth had quietly proven its strength. No grand display, no wars, no boasting. Just humans quietly building, learning, and valuing what others ignored. The daughter had a choice. The Emperor offered her luxury, power, and a place in the Empire. But she looked at the humans around her, the mechanic who had guided her. And she knew where she belonged. She chose Earth. She chose humans who saw heart, skill, and effort above everything. The Emperor's gift, meant as a joke, had become a lesson for him and the galaxy. Humans do not mock weakness, they build from it. They turn flaws into strength. They value potential above appearance. The daughter worked beside the human mechanic, fixing engines, building machines, and helping humans grow stronger. Her skills became invaluable, her intelligence admired. Her presence inspired humans and even surprised other alien observers. Quietly, without fanfare, Earth had become stronger than anyone expected. Not through weapons, not through armies, but through the simple, human value of seeing worth where others saw nothing. The Emperor finally left Earth, his pride shaken. He realized that laughter, mockery, and arrogance could never match the strength of humans. Earth had taught him a lesson he would never forget. And his daughter had found freedom, respect, and purpose. The humans had not only changed her, they had changed the galaxy. Silently, quietly, without boasting, Earth had achieved victory. The kind of victory that could never be measured by weapons, wealth, or size. It was a victory of heart, skill, and humanity. The alien daughter stood in the workshop, looking at the sunset. The sky glowed orange and purple. She smiled, feeling hope, pride, and belonging. The human mechanic nodded quietly, proud but humble. She knew her journey had just begun. But for the first time in her life, she felt safe, valued, and free. Earth had quietly won against the galaxy's laughter. And the humans had quietly won her heart. The galaxy had mocked them, laughed at their weakness. But Earth, small and humble, had quietly shown its power. A power not of weapons, but of respect, care, and strength. And the daughter knew she would never forget it. Humanity had quietly triumphed, and she was part of that triumph. The galaxy could laugh no longer. Earth had proven that humans build the future from heart, effort, and courage.